to Capital G here. Welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships for 2018. This is it, the grand finals. We will have a brand new King of Games. It's all come down to this. We have Bowden Temnek playing his Altergeist. I'd have to say that I do have a personal bias here. Not because he's from Australia or anything like that, but I personally use Altergeist in real life. Then we have Wang Chai Ching. He is running the Trickstar deck, and he is from Thailand. So this is actually going to be an incredibly spicy duel. I think that Bowden did go first, and he won the die roll. Both players just basically setting a couple of cards, setting a lot in Trickstars. This is an incredibly swingy matchup. I believe that this is the first that either player has actually played this particular matchup, or at least they said that they didn't have a lot of information on it. And let's see, Rivalry of Warlords is activated, and I'm almost certain that Bowden is going to activate Altergeist Multi-Faker from his hand. Otherwise, there would be absolutely no reason to do that play. Let's see if he does have the Multi-Faker. This is upon resolution. Multi-Faker is attempting to, or he's going to attempt to special summon it, and it is going to be special summoned. And this is just one of the best things about Altergeist. I have been playing Altergeist since in real life since Extreme Force, since a little before that, but I've been playing the deck online since about Circuit Break came out, and it is just such a fantastic deck. Now, it was kind of snuffed out when it comes to the TCG format, mainly because the Sky Striker deck, it's a really difficult matchup for us Altergeist players, but where Sky Strikers don't have Hornet Drones and only the pure decks are pretty much viable, it's definitely a deck that showed up and, obviously had very good results. So, Multi-Faker pulls Sequidius straight from the deck, and now he has what people like to call the the Altergeist Magispector Kirin on board, and, he does have the ability to basically bounce any card that's Wang puts on the field, and we'll see if Bowden actually activates that effect. So we'll just have to let them power shuffle up a little bit. But yeah, this matchup, I would probably say it's about 50-50 splits depending on who goes first. And the thing is, I would actually favor Bowden a little bit because of the world's ban list, where Terraforming is at 1 because of the OCG and also Trickstar Reincarnation. He is running a pure Trickstar variant. There are no Sky Strikers in here. Very amazing that in the Vrains era, Yu-Gi-Oh! 6 era, we see 2 anime decks in the finals. These are both played by female characters on the anime. Looks like he did use Sequidius to bounce a face-down card. If he could follow up with Milusik, that would be absolutely huge, because he would be able to get a card for free, possibly go into Hexia, but I don't think I would go into Hexia. I'd probably just leave my 2 monsters on board, but that is a pretty good play, and Rivalry of Warlords does limit both players to only one type of monster. Now, all the Altergeist monsters are Spellcaster. Let's see. Looks like, goes in match! That is huge! Altergeist. Oh, that is one of the Achilles heels of the Altergeist deck. All of our cards are different attributes. Sequidius is wind. The Multi-Faker that he did have on the field is actually dark. Milusik that I just talked about is water. That is huge, and that is actually significantly better than the Rivalry of Warlords. So, Pot of Desires is activated by Bowden, and he's going to banish the top 10 cards of his deck. Those are not coming back. They're face down. And he's going to get to draw 2 more cards. But Pot of Desires is a card that I've somewhat liked in Altergeist. I'm on the fence, honestly. I feel like Altergeist is probably one of the only decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! That doesn't actually need to run any spell cards at all. Pot of Duality and Pot of Desires both have upsides, but they both have downsides. Mainly because Sequidius, the monster on board, it's one of the few Altergeist monsters that you do not max out on. Same thing for Altergeist Conqueri, which I know Bowden does run. I saw him use that earlier. And if you banish, certain copies of those monsters, you're not going to get them back. And that can actually hurt you more than getting those 2 cards. But I do not believe, educated guess here, I do not believe that Bowden runs any spell and trap removal. I think if Wang gets a Candina, it can be huge, because unfortunately all the Trickstar monsters are the same type, and they're the same attribute as well. They're all light, and they're all fairies, so it could be really, really, really bad for Bowden. That goes in match really, really shuts down Altergeist, because they're all different attributes. They're all the same type, but the attribute thing really hurts them. So I think Wang is just looking for a monster, and even if Bowden would have Altergeist Concordia in hand to protect, ooh, Eater of Millions. Now that's interesting because he is going to be able to get rid of Sequidius permanently. I think it's kind of cool that he's even playing Eater of Millions. Probably just going to banish 5 cards. Oh no! I forgot about Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires gave him 10 banished cards. That means that the Eater of Millions is already going to come out with a minimum of 1,500 attack. Looks like he's banishing 5 face down. And he might not even want to use the effect here. He might just want to take the raw damage. I would actually just banish Sequidius because I don't think the damage is all that important here. I would just go ahead and banish it. But here's the thing. If he does get rid of Sequidius, that opens up the possibility for Miluseek. And if Bowden has Miluseek down, he has to have something to stop it. Because Miluseek will take out that Gozen match so quick, his head will spin, and he won't know what to do then. Miluseek can also get rid of the Eater of Millions as well. Miluseek can completely change this duel. Now, if he does Link Summon Miluseek and the Link Karibo, that just opens up a whole nother can of worms. But he is going to actually, it appears he's not going to banish the Sequidius face down, because there would be no damage calculation here, which I believe Bowden is trying to calculate how much damage I'm taking, because that Pot of Desires is kind of backfired right now. We'll see what happens. Alright, so we'll see, based on if Sequidius actually hits the graveyard or not, if he is using the effect. And I think that right now is what they're trying to figure out. Are you going to activate the effect of the Eater of Millions? So Eater of Millions was a card that he did use the effect. Okay, so there is no damage there, but he does get rid of the Altergeist Sequidius, and she's not coming back. He's going to set 1 card face down, and we'll see where exactly this goes. Yeah, Eater of Millions used to be very popular in Trickstars before you started seeing the hybrid versions, the Sky Striker Trickstars. Alright, so they're going into draw phase, standby. I think Bowden is just asking, do you have any response? He has Miluseek. I just saw it in his hand. I know her because she's that beautiful baby blue. He's got his thumb on it. He's going to summon it. Wait, no, he might actually summon Mary. He might summon Altergeist Marionetter. I think he has a green card. Marionetter is the green. Nope, there's Miluseek. There she is with that glowing baby blue. And this is a card that is level 1. It has the ability to attack directly. And when she inflicts battle damage, she has a base 500 attack. She can send 1 face-up card on the field to the graveyard. Oh, a premature effect veiler. She will no longer be able to attack directly. That is huge. But that is kind of... I almost feel like maybe he could have just let Sequidius stay on the field. But then again, who knows? Well, he has to capitalize because Miluseek is only going to be stunned for 1 turn. Now, Miluseek, when she's sent from the field to the graveyard, does allow you to search another Altergeist monster, but it cannot be another copy of herself. So she can't just search another copy to do, the same play or to threaten the same play next turn. Let's see what he wants to do. He has 2 cards set, and my understanding is that this was kind of a hybrid version of Trickstars in the sense it's pure, but it has a lot of tech cards that you're not used to seeing. I've never seen Gozen match in a Trickstar deck, so this is already new territory. Eater of Millions was very popular, as I said before. He is going to attack, and I would 100% use the effect. Now, if your opponent has Altergeist Protocol, oh, Infinite Impermanence, that is huge. Oh my. He's probably going to do that on Attack Declaration. If that goes through, that is absolutely crucial, because what is going to happen is its attack is going to be reduced to 0 because it doesn't have its attack. It doesn't know that it gains attack equivalent to the banished monsters. And not only will he end up losing the effect, but he's going to take battle damage, which means Miluseek will be able to activate during his opponent's turn. In all my time, I've played Altergeist for about 9 months. I have never triggered, not 1 time ever have I triggered Miluseek during my opponent's turn. Oh, looks like he's going to activate Impermanence on Miluseek, but that is such a, oh man. I don't know how I feel about that, because you're essentially not stopping Miluseek from activating next turn. And this could go bad. This looks so good for Wang, and now it's just going so poorly. I don't believe that exchange does much of anything to Bowden, because now he's saying, I believe he's asking if we can go to damage calculation. I mean, as long as I'm correct and Wang's Eater of Millions does have 0 attack, it's still going to die in battle. So we'll see exactly how this is going to shake out. But if Bowden was able to activate the Miluseek's effect during his opponent's turn, that would have been, oh man, that just would have been monumental. All right, so he's pointing at it, and yes, it does go down in battle. Again, its effect gives it 100 attack per every month, or per every card that is banished. But when it no longer has that effect, it doesn't know to have anything higher than 0. Its attack is essentially it's reduced to 0, so it's unfortunate, but He just activated the impermanence to make sure that Miluseek would not have her ability activate, which would have probably gotten rid of that Gozen match. I think if he loses the Gozen match, he loses the duel. I know Altergeist way too well. It's an incredibly snowbally deck. We already established that he has Multi-Faker in his hand. He's just waiting for a trap card to activate. That's why Miluseek is my favorite Altergeist. Is it the best Altergeist? No, that would be Multi-Faker. But is it my favorite? Yeah, she's... I mean, in my heart, she's the best. She's so useful because of that effect, because she can attack directly. Your opponent can have monsters on field, and she can just ignore. He's just going to go straight into battle phase, and he's going to threaten again. And you see right there, he's probably going to get rid of the Gozen match. And now that he has gotten rid of the Gozen match, assuming that he doesn't get hit with like a Solemn Strike, Gozen match is gone. That's why effect negation is king. And he did have 2 ways of stopping her, but just weren't enough ways. All right, so now that Gozen match is gone, he now has the ability to summon other Altergeist cards. I think that Marionetter is going to come down. She's the green one. She's level 4. When she is special summoned, her effect will activate most of the time, 99% of the time. It allows you to get an Altergeist trap card straight from your deck and set it on the field. There is Mary. Yep, he's going for Mary, and he's going to go ahead. He's probably going to set Altergeist Protocol from his deck. All the Altergeist cards are Spellcaster. Now, she is light attribute, so had that Gozen match been on the field, he would not be able to summon her. Oh, another infinite impermanence. Okay. I would consider going for maybe Hextia here, or maybe you just keep him on the board. You can go for Hextia, search Conqueri, but then again, we don't know if he banished Conqueri, because he did activate Pot of Desire, so maybe it's banished. He is going for that. Okay, he's going for Hextia. Hextia will allow him to get Miluseek off the field, and what that does is that gives him a surge. So Altergeist Miluseek is giving him a surge. I would go for Conqueri. There's Conqueri. Okay, I was thinking maybe he had banished it. Conqueri is one of the cards that, in playing Altergeist, right? I realize it's a card that you most of the time should never side out, but you're always tempted to. When you do side that card out, you will always miss it. It just, especially if you have Sequidius, it delays your opponent so much, because basically it's kind of like a cross between Battle Fader and like Swift Scarecrow a little bit. You summon it when your opponent declares an attack. As long as you have a face-up Altergeist card on the field, you negate that attack. You summon Conqueri. She has a big old booty, I think 2400 defense, 0 attack, but you don't summon in attack mode. And then while she's face-up on the field, you can actually negate one face-up card your opponent has. And what you essentially do is you negate one attack, and then when your opponent attacks again, you have Sequidius, the monster that was on the field earlier. You have that bounce their monster that was attacking, and Conqueri, thus stopping that attack. And then if your opponent has a third attack, you simply summon the Conqueri for a second time, and you have essentially negated 3 attacks. And most of the time, Altergeists are not like, once you stop 3 attacks, your opponent's battle phase most of the time is done. And just those 2 cards can effectively end your opponent's entire battle phase. It's such a great combo, and you can just keep bouncing Conqueri so that you can do that every single turn. Now, we see Wang going extremely defensive. You don't usually see Trickstar players set face downs. These have to be hand traps that are just completely useless. But I believe he's probably going to normal summon either another copy of Mary or Sequidius. We'll see what he does here, because Hextia plus Hextia on field by herself is not really threatening. Oh, he's actually going to just normal summon Multi-Faker. I don't know about attacking face downs. Yeah, it seems pretty predictable that those are hand traps. He attacks into a copy of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, and now he's going to attack into a face down. That's a Droll and Lockbird. All right, looks like they're trying to figure out... Okay, I'm not sure if they were trying to figure out what monster was being attacked or what, if they're trying to do the damage, but definitely Multi-Faker is not strong enough to take down Cherries. Okay, I wouldn't even attack, and I would just assume that they're just hand traps. Droll and Lockbird and Winter Cherries are the cards, though. Now, Hextia should be strong enough to take out one of them. All right, so Droll and Lockbird is going to be attacked by Hextia, and this is actually... Well, no, he has the Conqueri. I was thinking if he topped that Candina, he could get back in this duel, but he's not going to be able to attack, because he'll simply negate the attack with Conqueri, and that's why Conqueri is such a valuable card. I don't even know. Actually, you know, now that now that Robbery of Warlords is on the field, he is locked into Zombie. You know what? I have to correct myself. He can't summon his Trickstar monsters because he's currently locked into the Zombie type because of the Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, which is really unfortunate. So, yeah, Ghost Reaper is on field, and she's just gonna have to stay there. Trickstars don't run any tribute monsters, and I don't know of any other zombies that they have. Even if he did have another copy of Cherries, what exactly would he do? Because it's only a matter of time before Hexia starts running those things over. This is a really, really tight spot that Wang was in. He lost momentum in this duel thanks to Bowden's impermanence. If that impermanence was, I don't know, just another random card, had it been maybe a scapegoat or something like that, which I don't like in Altergeist to begin with, but had it been a card that wasn't going to negate the effect of Eater of Millions, I feel like Bowden may have actually lost control of this duel right there. He needed that he needed that Miluseek to go off, and he got it. And I think that you can tell by Wang's face, this is not going well for him. Yeah, I think that the Trickstar deck can be extremely good versus Altergeist, but this is kind of a lesser version because of the world's ban list, where certain cards in the TCG, which I'm pretty sure Wang doesn't play under anyway, so it's really probably no sweat to him. All right, looks like Bowden discarded a Cherries. Everybody seems to be playing that card. Discards Winter Cherries and Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries during the end phase, so he must have tons of cards in his hand. Usually you would see Altergeist set more cards. All right, he's going for Eater of Millions. The problem is, as soon as he declares an attack, here's what's going to happen. Bowden is going to reveal Altergeist Conqueror from his hand. He's going to special summon it. Then he's actually going to target the Eater of Millions. He's going to negate the effect, thus bringing its attack to 0, and he's just going to run it over during his next turn. The Conqueror it's basically an insurance plan for Altergeist. It's to make sure, oh, if you top deck that one card that you need to beat over my guys, doesn't matter. I have the Conqueror in my hand, the protection, and it's incredibly difficult to stop because it activates in the hand, not on the field. So unless you have something like a Solemn Strike, you're probably not stopping it. So let's see what's going to happen here. I believe that's what's going to happen. Wang is going to declare an attack, probably on Hexia, and Conqueror is going to be revealed. Bowden's going to summon it. Bowden's going to target the Eater of Millions. He's going to negate it, and the duel is going to end during his next turn. I believe he'll win the duel during that turn. But it has to play out. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he has like a Regeki or something that we don't know about. That would obviously change because you do have to control. All right, he does declare the attack on the Hexia, and Bowden targets the Eater of Millions. These are incredibly elementary plays for Altergeist. This is how I can predict these plays because they're incredibly simple. If you play the Altergeist deck, this is very easy stuff. And for everybody out there who plays Altergeist and does not run at least one copy of Conqueror, I'm sorry, you are doing it wrong. The reason you run Conqueror are for situations just like this. If he was not running Conqueror in some other random card, no, you do not get the reader. I think that Wang is saying there's a replay. There is no replay. The reason that there isn't a replay, even though a new monster was summoned, is because your attack is negated. So you can't get a second attack unless your monster actually had that. Now, he is activating Ghost Ogre, which does change things. Okay, if he's going to Ghost Ogre, all right. That changes his duel. Hold on, that got the Conqueror off the board. Now, there's still no replay. You don't get to attack again because Conqueror's effect was not negated. You're essentially, even though there would be a replay under normal circumstances, the attack is negated. So there is no replay because Conqueror still hits the field. I believe that she doesn't, unless she needs to stay face up to resolve. I don't know. I've never had my Conqueror get like Ghost Ogred or Solemn while on field. So we'll have to see exactly how this is going to shake out. But I'm almost certain that her effect activated on field. It did resolve. She was simply destroyed. So it should be, no replay. All right, so there it is. He's passing the Bowden. There is no replay. And things are a little interesting now, but if Bowden has a Miluseek, then there it is. Okay, there's the Miluseek. Situation doesn't change. I believe that Wang shouldn't show him any more information. I wouldn't even do life points now. I would concede this duel because I would try to save time for the next duel, and I would try to basically not give Bowden any more information. He does right here. The Miluseek, see, this is why Miluseek is such a great card. She just answers anything. She gets rid of the Eater of Millions, who it has an ability to not be tributed, but it doesn't say anything about not being targeted. So Miluseek just sends her off the field. In a simplified game state, Altergeist Miluseek is one of the best cards in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Looks like Bowden might be going for Hexia Part 2. And he does go for Hexia Part 2, activates Miluseek to get another Surge. Probably wants Mary at this point. No, he gets a copy of Sequidius. I'm not sure if he already had Mary in his hand or if all his other copies of Mary are banished. You know, a card I'd like to see him play right now would actually be Altergeist Manifestation. I usually run 2 copies of that. I'm not sure if he's banished that. Now, I've seen a lot of TCG players only run 1 copy of Manifestation and then run 2 copies of Protocol. I personally like 2, 3. But that's just me. I do understand that Manifestation, and the reason that I initially ran 3 and then I cut it down to 2, it really breaks in your opening hand if you don't open up with Milusic, because you can't activate it until you get an Altergeist card in the, like, until you get a monster in the graveyard, it's completely dead. But Protocol is not, it's not dead because you can just summon an Altergeist monster and then flip it over and use it. So we'll have to see how this goes. I believe that all they're doing is shuffling. And if you don't know about Altergeist Hextia, she gains the attack of Altergeist. She gains the original attack of all Altergeist monsters that she points to. And when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or trap effect, she can actually tribute an Altergeist, or, well, a card linked to her to negate the activation of that card and destroy it. So she's a really, really good card. And then when she's sent from the field to the graveyard, she allows you to get any Altergeist card from your deck, not just monsters. She can add the traps too. Altergeist, of course, do not have spells. He activates Trickstar Light Stage. That is negated by Altergeist Hextia. That is unfortunate because, as I said, Terraforming is at 1. He is going to search out the copy of Manifestation that I just talked about. It is basically Call of the Haunted for Altergeist. But what he can actually do, this is a play that used to be illegal in the TCG because of mistranslations, but what he can actually do here, but I don't believe he will because he'll win before he can do it, he can actually set Altergeist Manifestation, our Call of the Haunted. He can activate it if he has Sequidius on field, which he has in his hand. He searched that during his last turn with Altergeist Milusic. So if Sequidius was face up on the field, he could activate Manifestation. He could target an Altergeist monster in his graveyard. He could then, as Chainlink 2, activate Sequidius, target a card on his opponent's side of the field, return Manifestation to his hand as a cost, and the Manifestation will still resolve even though it is in his hand. That is such an amazing play. You see Wang just simply scoops it up, and I believe that in every single duel, you can kind of pinpoint one play or just one act where the tide of the duel changed, and I believe it was the impermanence. The fact that he not only was essentially getting rid of the Eater of Millions, which was, I actually thought was going to be a huge problem in this duel for Bowden, but not only did he essentially get rid of the Eater of Millions, so a 1-for-1, but then he forced his opponent's impermanence as well, because if Altergeist Milusic would have done battle damage, he would have lost the Gozen match anyway. So I've said in all of my time playing Altergeist, I have never done I've never used Milusic's effect during my opponent's turn. It doesn't happen. It's like game 2 is ready to start, and okay, both players are shuffling them up. Now, Trickstars, well, in the TCG, they do have... All right, looks like both players have got things started for game 2. And Wang starts things off with Inspector Border. That is incredibly powerful. And then he follows that with a copy of Pot of Desires. Now, that cannot be Ash Blossom because of that Inspector Border. Now, look, I am an Altergeist player, and I can tell you right now, Inspector Border is one of the hardest cards for the Altergeist deck to actually contend with. I've had about 3 or 4 duels, this is no lie, where I play Altergeist and I've just scooped to that card by itself, because it's actually one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to not let go of Mirror Force, because Altergeist like don't really have any outs to it. You can't just summon Milusic. If you don't know, you cannot activate effects unless, well, you can activate effects equivalent to the number of basically extra deck mechanics that you have on the field. Let's just, oh wait, I think he has impermanence. Okay, so he activates Lullaby of Obedience, and that's 2,000 light points, by the way. Bowden activates Lullaby of Obedience. This was some spicy tech that I hear that he was actually he was actually citing, and he's calling Inspector Border. Oh my goodness! What he might be trying to do is he might be trying to take Wang's Inspector Border and then crash. But if Wang actually banished his other copies of Inspector Border, then Lullaby of Obedience will completely fizzle. That is interesting. Oh, he did banish. You can see right there, he did banish other copies of Inspector Border. If he has no other copies in his deck left, then that means that Bowden will get nothing from his Lullaby of Obedience. Yeah, what Bowden wants to do here is Bowden wants to take he wants to take other copies of Wang's Inspector Border, and he wants to basically crash them into each other, because Altergeist do not have an inherent way. You cannot activate monster effects unless you have either a Fusion, Ixie, Synchro, Link, or Pendulum monster on the field, and you can only activate monster effects equivalent to how many of those you actually control. Altergeist can't really, they don't have simple ways of going into like extra deck cards. Like the only thing they can do is really go into Link Karibo instantly, and oh my goodness, it appears that Lullaby of Obedience is going to fizzle, and Bowden gets to verify that there are no copies of Inspector Border. That has to be the luckiest, oh my goodness, that has to be the luckiest desires ever. Had Wang had the copy of Inspector Border in his deck, Bowden could have simply took it. It would have been added to his hand or special summoned. He probably would have added it to his hand. He could have simply normal summoned it and then attacked and gotten rid of both Inspector. He could have gotten rid of all the Inspector Border threats for the entire duel. But instead, Bowden not only wastes 2,000 life points, but he kind of just wastes the card as well. I mean, he gets information, but it's not good information. It's not valuable. The cards in Wang's deck are relevant. Like, even if he only has one Candina in his deck, it's irrelevant. I'm telling you now, I've played Altergeist long enough to know that Inspector Border can literally beat the entire deck. Now, I originally thought that maybe he had infinite impermanence and that he would simply negate the Inspector Border. Now, at the time when I was testing with Altergeist and I was dealing with Inspector Border, infinite impermanence had not been released yet. So that does change things a little bit, but infinite impermanence is kind of like the only way to out it. It's a continuous effect. You cannot Solemn Strike it. You cannot use Altergeist Protocol. And since it's already on the board, you cannot Solemn Warning it. So it's here now. And again, it's actually one of the reasons why I used to contemplate keeping Mirror Force in, because Altergeist just didn't have a monster that could get over it. It's 2,000 attack as well. So, I mean, Altergeist monsters are incredibly low attack. Anywhere from 0 to, 1,600. He has the impermanence! He has the impermanence! That's huge! He has the impermanence, especially if he has Multi-Faker. Now, if he has Miluseek, oh my god! He has everything! Here's the Multi-Faker. That is just colossal. Let's see if he has anything for that. Oh, he responds with Goes in Match. This is crazy. This means that he cannot summon any other Altergeist cards. Multi-Faker cannot summon another copy of itself. And there are no other Dark Altergeist monsters. As I said before, every single Altergeist card is different attributes. This means that its effect will 100% fizzle. And I'm telling you, if Bowden does not get rid of this Inspector Border this turn, I believe he will lose this duel. Now, he does still have the ability to set a card. This also means even if Miluseek was summoned, Miluseek could not attack directly and activate its effect. You cannot activate effects unless he has a Link monster. All he has to do is simply keep attacking. Even if I had monsters like Lycoris, I would just summon them and attack just to get monsters off the board. This is absolutely huge. Now, he could stall with hand traps, but keep in mind, he is locked under Goes in Match as well, so, that might not be the best thing. Now, I actually wonder what attribute Inspector Border is. I don't know off the top of my head, so maybe when they show, I think it actually might be Earth attribute, so maybe he might not have the ability to summon the Trickstar cards, but I actually believe that Inspector Border can literally beat the entire Altergeist deck. Maybe Bowden can stall with like a Droll and Lockbird or something, but in general, it's going to be a rough match. And this is a monster that will not lose any attack if he has another impermanence. He just needs to simply keep attacking as often as possible. He attacks into Miluseek, and Altergeist Miluseek cannot activate her effect. That effect that he used twice in the first duel to search other cards, it won't work. This is why you sometimes have to have cards like Regeki and Dark Hole to get rid of problems like Inspector Border. Inspector Border is huge against Altergeist. It is one of the biggest counter cards in the entire game, very similar to Evenly Match or maybe Wiretap. Heavy Storm Duster is going to get rid of Goes in Match, and alright, this could change things a little bit. He gets rid of Goes in Match and Infinite Impermanence. That at least gives him the ability to summon other Altergeist monsters. He still can't activate effects. I don't think that change. Even if he had another Miluseek, he can't use it. Oh my god! He has another Goes in Match! No flipping way. He has another Goes in Match. This is insane. Wang is locked in right now. This is his duel to win, and I believe that this is Bowden's duel to lose. This is amazing. He has another copy of Goes in Match. This lock cannot be cracked. Bowden has attempted it and it has been unsuccessful. You see him immediately switch Sequidius, or excuse me, Multi-Faker to defense mode because he does not want to take any damage right now. Leaving it in attack mode would just leave it susceptible to taking unnecessary battle damage, and I fully believe that Wayne can win this duel with just this one single monster. Well, if he has other, ways, that would be nice, but I believe that this card could be enough to just win him the duel. Let's see if I'm right. All right. So he's going to, I believe he said battle phase, and he's attacking into Multi-Faker. Let's see if that's going to happen. Okay, so he's going to activate Personal Spoofing. Personal Spoofing is going to allow him to tag Sequidius back into his deck and exchange it for another monster. Now, if he doesn't get a Multi-Faker, which could summon itself in that same chain or at resolution, he then would have a replay, and he could attack directly. Konkori cannot be used because he doesn't have any Altergeist cards on the field. Also, he can't activate effects because of Inspect the Border. He is going to take Altergeist Miluseek. I'm not sure about that if I'm Bowden. I mean, just because it doesn't really, getting Miluseek doesn't address the problem of Inspector Border. And he took a monster, I mean, I guess at this point, like losing your Multi-Faker for nothing doesn't help. Maybe he's hoping to draw an out like a Regeki. The problem is, if Miluseek's put on the field, we already saw that. He had it face down, it was attacked. Miluseek cannot activate any of its effects. Even if you go for a Link Karibo, you get the search, but you never get, you don't get the direct attack effect, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You can attack directly. You just can't activate the effect to send something from the grave or from the field to the graveyard. Miluseek is supposed to be one of Altergeist's best cards in a vacuum because it works. The card thrives in the simplified game state. It's one of the best top decks in the entire deck of Altergeist because it gets the entire deck going. And in the simplified game state, it's one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I already said that, but in this simplified game state where monster effects are basically irrelevant, it's not good at all. If it can't activate that effect, then it can't be useful. And actually, both of her effects are super useful, but both of her effects won't be activated, so it's just irrelevant. All right, so he should be able to attack directly. That's why I think they're taking the damage right there. Bowden will take 2,000 damage. He's at 6,000 now, and he's got to be careful because taking those Inspector Border attacks to the face are not good. Now the thing is, Wayne could not actually Ash Blossom the copy of Personal Spoofing, which is a great counter to Personal Spoofing because he can't activate monster effects either. So we'll see what happens. Looks like Bowden is passing. He's not willing to commit his Miluseek on the field. He doesn't want her to die for nothing. And he's attacking again. That's 4,000 life points. He's 2 attacks from losing. I said when he first summoned it, this one card is good enough to beat the entire Altergeist deck. I've played this matchup too many times. This one card can beat our entire deck. And you see right now it's happening. If Bowden does not get rid of, oh, it looks like he's at 2,000. If Bowden does not get rid of the Inspector Border, he will lose this duel. He will lose a duel where Wang only summoned one monster, but that monster it completely wrecks the Altergeist deck. It just does. It just every Yu-Gi-Oh deck has a card that just absolutely destroys it, and for us, it's that. I believe he probably set his Miluseek because he knows if he takes another attack, he loses. So, all right, this is very smart here. He's gonna activate Shared Ride, and this will at least give Bowden a new card. Here's what he's doing, right? Wang has no intention. I don't believe Wang has any intention on summoning the Trickstar Candina that he searches. All Wang wants to do is he wants to just disrupt the back row. This was another reason that the Trickstar matchup used to be Trickstars used to be favored in this matchup versus Altergeist before Multi-Faker came out, was because of that card, the field spell, Trickstar Light Stage. It could constantly force out Altergeist trap cards. It made Solemn Strike essentially unplayable against Trickstars. Same thing for Solemn Warning. Your opponent would just lock your back row down, they'd lock your Solemn down, and you'd never be able to use it, and you would just lose those cards. Like every single turn, you would be losing your trap cards, or you'd have to prematurely activate them like Protocol, and your opponent would now have the information and potentially try to play around it. So Trickstar Light Stage is huge in this match. I actually feel like in some ways, Trickstars might want to go second in this matchup, but we'll see. The floodgates are doing work right now. The flood, and the thing about Altergeist is not in this situation, not really a lot of spell and trap removal. I mean, Bowden did attempt it with a Heavy Storm Duster, but it just didn't work out for him. Yeah, he can't summon. Wait, are they? Oh, they must be light attribute. Okay, fair enough. There you go. I guess Inspector Border is light attribute. He's attacking into the face down. That is Multi-Faker. And let's see if he attacks for game. All right, we're going to the legendary game 3. Okay, so Inspector Border, I said it was Earth, or I believe it was Earth. My mistake. It is actually light attribute. The decisive game 3. That match was amazing. Let's see what the players got for game 3. All right, they're siding, and this is interesting because Inspector Border basically leveled Bowden's entire deck single-handedly. It regulated the entire field. However, if Bowden is able to use that Lullaby of Obedience to snatch steal it before Wayne can play it, that can be really bad because Inspector Border can wreck both decks. Neither deck plays any battle trap, so there aren't really many ways of getting around the card. But man, oh man, that Pot of Desires banishing the Inspector Border was huge. All right, looks like we're back for game 3. Nice little handshake for the players, and this is it. The player who wins this duel is going to be the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Champion for 2018, our new King of Games. Thunder King Ryo is going to be normal summon. That card is so good against Trickstars. It can be countered by certain things, like impermanence, and it can also be countered by Inspector Border, which we don't know if Wayne kept in. That's Inspector Border? Oh my goodness. Okay. No, excuse me. That was Cyber Dragon. Okay, I thought that was Cyber Dragon baiting out the Thunder King. That is huge. If he can follow that up with a Terraforming or with a Trickstar Candina, that would be just monumental. All right, so let's see who played Cyber Dragon in 2018. For a second, I thought that was Inspector Border. I'm like, wait a minute. Inspector Border is a normal summon. It's also 2000. Ryo was 19. Oh my goodness, did he just pass turn? What are you doing, Wang? Wang may have just thrown, he passed turn with 5 cards in hand. I don't understand what, how bad is his hand where he would just summon Cyber Dragon and pass? Now there's Milusic. Now, the one issue with Milusic is that she's not particularly great in an open field, but she will send herself to the graveyard for Link Karibo, and that will generally get you Multi-Faker. If you haven't normal summoned that turn, sometimes you'll go for Mary, and then you'll summon Milusic back, and basically it starts your engine. He's going for Little Link Karibo. Okay. I am so utterly stunned that Wang just passed turn without committing a normal summon at all. And this is the problem with Trickstars with 1 Terraforming. And the TCG, you would have expected him to have Light Stage by now. But in the OCG, where Terraforming's at 1, it's not always that easy. I think this duel basically hinges on this next turn. If Wang doesn't do anything, I believe that this duel will spiral out of control. You see, he did add a copy of Mary. When you add Marionetta, that generally tells me that you don't have a super powerful trap card, because if you believe that you have a reliable trap that is pretty much going to get its man and get its mark, then you're going for Multi-Faker. But if you don't have that super reliable trap card set, like, I don't know, I mean, Impermanence, then you probably should go for Mary and try to set up for your next turn. Because Mary can kind of be like a +2 once you do the full rotation. Summon Mary. Get like Protocol from your graveyard, tribute Mary for the Milusic in his grave now, attack directly, get a card, give up Milusic and go for Link Karibo, and essentially just, get another search. And basically it's a lot of advantage. So we'll see right here. The Cyber Dragon play wasn't bad. What if Wang has like an Inspector Border and he normal summons it? As crazy as this is, he could honestly just win the duel. Because it would force out the Link Karibo, and then the Mary would be useless. Unless he had Impermanence, like, it would kind of be a useless card. But he needs to do something right here and right now. Otherwise, I believe he will lose this duel. You cannot, in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you cannot just have turns where you just pass with an open field. It just doesn't work. Altergeist don't do a lot of damage, but they get so much control over the game that it's kind of like a boa constrictor. It slowly constricts your opponent's options to where your opponent doesn't have any useful options left, and you win. Now, he's thinking a lot, and that generally isn't a good sign. How much? Yeah, how much he's thinking. Yeah, that's bad. He's normal summoning Lycoris. That's not a good play. That tells me that he does not have anything powerful. I think he's just trying to get the Link Karibo off the field. He is going to attack directly. Just essentially, here comes, I think we might be seeing, nope, okay. Thought maybe we might be seeing a trap and then Multi-Faker activated. All right, so Link Karibo goes down. Link Karibo losing out is inconsequential for Altergeist. It's not really part of the win condition. So he's going to do 200 burn damage, which is also inconsequential. And I believe that you'll see the rotation here, and I think Bowden's going to win. Barring an evenly match play, basically, I believe Bowden's going to win. Because Bowden should normal summon he should normal summon Mary, which he's doing now. He's going to get Protocol, and he's going to set it. He's then going to tribute the Mary, and then he's going to... I wouldn't even Veiler this, man. Like, I feel like maybe if you Veiler it, yeah, maybe if he Veilers it, he can hang in this duel. But if he gets this full rotation, I think he loses outside of evenly match. He's going to use Ogre. Oh, okay. Now, I actually believe Bowden should not go... He should go for, what's it called? He's using Effect Veiler and Ogre. Okay. Now, will that allow it to activate off field? This is interesting. I've never seen someone use two hand traps on a single card. All right, that at least delays a little bit. But the problem is them trap cards that Bowden has down there might be live. Now, if those are impermanences, those don't do anything right now. Let's see. If he has something like a manifestation, then that could be really bad for Wang. Let's see. Lullaby of Obedience is activated. Let's see if he has Inspector Border. Let's see what he called. Let's see. So he kept the Lullaby of Obediences in, and actually, he called Cyber Dragon instead. This is actually nuts. He calls Cyber Dragon, not Inspector Border. Doesn't matter if he summons it or puts it in Bowden's hand. Bowden can get it on field. But if he adds it to his hand, he will take burn damage. So there is that. And Bowden did pay 2,000 life points for that Cyber. That is a lot of life points. I thought that, yeah, I was trying to read his lips. I was like, did he say Inspector Border? It looks like he just said a few syllables. Cyber Dragon. 4 syllables, I guess. Let's see what he's doing here. Yeah, if he adds it to his hand, he will take burn damage. But the problem is, since Bowden doesn't have any monsters on field, Cyber Dragon can summon itself and can attack over Wang's Trickstar Lilybell. So, or excuse me, Lycoris. And actually, here's one of the really bad things. As crazy as this is, Cyber Dragon kind of being a 2100 vanilla from, the GX era, it's a really difficult card for Trickstars to get over. Now, maybe if he has like a Eater of Millions or something, he can get over it, but the Trickstar monsters are not big enough to attack over it. Not without Caribbean, which is banned because it's not in the TCG yet. So, we'll see what happens here. Bowden should probably special summon it. I wonder what Bowden's hand size is. Is it just that Cyber Dragon? Or is that it? Actually, you know what? Both players, you know what I just realized? They are using different sleeves. Okay. And Dragon Duels, I could have swore they were using the same sleeves. All right. Special summoning Cyber Dragon. And he's just going to threaten an attack. He had not entered the battle phase. So, okay. And that should be 500 damage. So, getting beat down with his own monster. Oh, the irony. Maybe that's poetic justice. Inspector Border also is not big enough to take down Cyber Dragon, so that card would not help him right now. Let's see how he deals with that. Maybe a Mind Control could be kind of clutch here. Mind Control could take your Cyber Dragon back. You could link summon off with it. Or if he summoned his own Cyber Dragon, he could Contact Fuse. That'd be kind of cool. But does he have a third Cyber Dragon? That'd be crazy. We still haven't really seen the Candina. Oh my god, he has Mind Control! Holy moly, I just threw that out there because I heard that he played it. I didn't think he'd actually use it. Oh my goodness. Will he actually link summon with it? Let's see what Bowden's going to do. He's going to use Heavy Storm Duster. Oh, he's trying to summon Multi-Faker. That's the only reason that this play makes sense, honestly. He's trying to summon Multi-Faker. The only reason that this makes sense... Okay, that's what I thought. He has Multi-Faker. The only reason that this play would make sense is if he had Multi-Faker. Otherwise, it makes zero sense to do. Because he's like, oh, I need to use Heavy Storm Duster on something. Otherwise, I might not get the opportunity. That's what I was thinking. I was like, why would he Heavy Storm Duster it? It's still going to resolve. But if he doesn't have, like, if he doesn't have the ability to use Heavy Storm Duster, it's just a dead card. So that told me, like, he has Multi-Faker in his hand. Looks like he's going to Ogre the Multi-Faker. It's interesting that he kept Ogre. I do not believe Ogre is good against Ultra. I don't think it's that good against Altergeist. So he's getting Miluseek, which is essentially our floater, puts it in defense mode. And now if he had a Thunder King Ryo here, he could summon it and he could attack Miluseek, and Miluseek wouldn't get her search. The important part of Miluseek is just getting the search. Like right here, you would not go into another Multi-Faker. If Miluseek died, you'd get a Mary. Because Marionetta would summon herself, it'd get the trap, it'd get the protocol or the manifestation. At this point, I would skip over protocol because I don't believe effect negation is, in this simplified game state, I don't believe that it's that important. I would get manifestation, and then you trade it in for the Miluseek again. So, okay, I thought he was setting those cards on his side of the field. I'm like, whoa, how many cards do you have, bro? You just been hiding cards everywhere? I would say right now this game, I would say it favors Bowden. Short of a couple of counter cards, Thunder King Ryo and Inspector Border are those counter cards. But he still actually has to get rid of the Cyber Dragon because it's him taking control of it is only temporary. So he would have to like attack over Miluseek with Inspector Border and then like link summon into like a Nightmare Phoenix or something. Like that would probably get him there. But he can't just like Cyber Dragon. He can't just like take Cyber Dragon and pass. He has to do something with it. If he can like contact fuse or some, I don't even know if he has a hand. I feel like he has. If he doesn't have a hand, this game's over. Like I'm sorry to say it, but Bowden will go for Link Karibo. He probably should do it during his end phase. I think he might actually just activate Manifestation here. I feel like he's going to do that, and I feel like this game's over. The thing about Altergeist's ability to do damage. Oh, a Mind Crush. What is he calling? This can be huge. I don't think Bowden knows what is in his hand. What's he? I'm not sure what he's calling. This is incredibly. I guess he's calling Trickstar Lycoris. Okay, so we need to know, do you have a Lycoris in his hand? And he does not have a Lycoris. There goes Sequidius. What is? I really want to know what's in Wang's hand. I mean, I guess Bowden knows now. Oh my goodness! He has Eater of Millions! This is huge! He has Eater of Millions. Bowden might have just lost this duel. Bowden, he banishes the Cyber Dragon face down. He is going to banish Miluseek. I think Bowden just lost the duel. Miluseek is the lifeblood of Altergeist. It gets you to whatever you want. It essentially makes sure that electricity, or it makes sure that there's always gas in your car. A car is great, but is a car useful without gas? No. Miluseek is the fuel for the deck. I think he's banishing his entire extra deck, actually. Let's see how many cards he's going for. I believe he's banishing. He might banish his entire extra deck. If Miluseek, if the lifeline is cut off, if the car's gas is taken out, Bowden will lose this duel. Because right now, Bowden basically has to top deck another Miluseek, or he has to get, because Bowden doesn't have a hand anymore now. Bowden basically has to get a manifestation or another Miluseek. That was terrible for Bowden. I did not expect him to have the Eater of Millions, and you can tell Wang has just captured the momentum in this duel. Now, whatever that other card is, Bowden knows what it is, so he has at least that inside knowledge. But the thing about Altergeist is, it's not, even though it's one of the best grind decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's one of the best decks in the simplified game state, it's not a very good top decking deck. Let's see if he top decked something strong. He top decked the trap. That needs to be a manifestation. If it's an effect negator, if it's something like that, it doesn't do anything in a vacuum. Something like Solemn Strike won't work because he's just taking direct attacks right now. Oh, he attacks and he wins! Bowden ends up losing the duel. I believe that he may have banned it. Oh my goodness. That was so crazy. Yes, I believe he may have banished his entire extra deck face down to make sure that Eater of Millions attack was just through the roof. And Bowden's Mind Crush did not pay off. He should have kept the Mind Crush. He would have been able to basically stall out for at least one more turn. And Wang is your 2018 Yu-Gi-Oh! World Champion. And actually, I wanted to go back and correct myself. I wanted to make sure that there was no misconception here. There was not a direct attack to end the game with Wang. What actually happened was the last couple of turns were played in time. So Bowden didn't have any ways of doing damage. Thus, Wang had higher life points and was announced as the winner. He won the duel. It was unfortunate that it was in time, but a win is still a win.